What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you saw in the last video, we had an issue with the high beams not working, so I figured it out. And I figured it out basically by, I had this spare control switch that has some rash, and that's why it's not on the bike. And it did work when I plugged it in, and the high beams turned on no problem. So I ended up taking apart the control switch, and as you can see, these wires, oh, hold on, this wire and the other wire, they are not on the contacts. They are broken off. And that is the reason why high beams aren't working. The lights go on now, which is good, but like I said, the high beam wasn't working, and it's because these two have lost their solder and they're not on the connections. I did test it out. I started the bike and I put the two wires where they were supposed to be, and then I flipped the switch for the high beams and they worked no problem. So that's a very easy fix. I could probably just get a soldering gun and solder these back on to where they're supposed to be, and it should be good. The only thing that sucks is that the back part, which is right here, in the middle, it's supposed to have that little knob that's sticking out, and that goes to that hole right there to kind of hold the thing in place, and it's broken. So I don't know, maybe I could try to get a piece of plastic somewhat in that diameter and just super glue it on there and then be gentle when I'm putting it back on to hold it in place. But if not, either way, maybe I'll just get another switch or whatever. But super happy that I found out how to fix the high beams. It just goes to show that everything is working fine with the electrical system over here. So that is a huge plus. I'm super happy about that. But yeah, so the red wire is supposed to be towards the bottom, and the yellow wire is supposed to be towards the top. So I'm actually gonna try to solder these back on because this is a fully functional working switch and it's really not in bad shape. But like I said, the only part is this part right here, which sucks. But I could always try to find one on eBay that even has rash that is not broken in that middle part, and then I'll have no problem. But it does obviously work when I put it onto the bike. So, but either way, yeah, pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to see if I can solder these things back on and see if we get functionality out of it. All right, guys, so I did solder the wires back into place. Kind of a shitty soldering job, but that was really my first. I haven't really had to solder much in my life, so use the soldering gun with the solder, and I got the wires back on the connections, and they should be good. So let me go put this back on the handlebar and put the back part on, and then we'll see if it worked. Sweet, guys, it is working. It is awesome. So happy about that. All right, guys, so we have the airbox off. We're going to take off this cover and see how the air filter is. Hopefully it's in good shape. If not, then we'll replace it. But I just want to comment. So when I bought that headlight cowl, it came with the headlights, the OEM front cowl, 2 mirrors, the wiring, a whole bunch of stuff. So I actually got a really good deal from, what is this place, Moto Lister, I guess? I don't know, something on eBay. But anyway, like I said, I got all that front end, the whole thing complete. Windscreen, mirrors, fairing, headlights, the wiring harness for the headlights. So I got it for a pretty darn good price, in my opinion. So overall, super happy that I got that. That was probably the best shape OEM fairing that I could find on eBay. So it worked out pretty good. But let's get back to this. Let's rip this off and see how the oil filter, or how the air filter looks. So overall, the airbox is really not that dirty. We'll check out the filter, see how that looks. Yeah, it's a bit dirty. Not horrible, but I think, I mean, obviously I could run it. That's no problem, but it's a little dirty. So I think I'm just going to find another one and replace it, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, it is a bit dirty up there. So I'm sure it could definitely need a replacement. But overall, I'm really surprised. The airbox is really not that dirty. It's just a little dirty down here, which we'll clean up, obviously, and then we'll clean up the outside as well. But everything looks to be in pretty decent shape. I can say that for sure. So, interesting. So since the airbox is all clean now, and obviously we don't have to do anything more to the front end part of the bike, we're going to put the stock windscreen back on for now. There were some scratches on there. We'll see if we can buff that out. Same with the headlight that has a scratch. So let's go throw this stock windscreen back on there. All right, so the windscreen is fully installed. Like I said, I want to try to get these scratches out. I'm going to first clean it and then use a little bit of compound on here and see what happens. Hopefully we can get rid of some of these scratches. I think we can. And then, like I said, we're going to try to get rid of this scratch. I can feel it with my finger pretty good, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get that one out. This one right here is a lot lighter, so we'll probably be able to get that out, but we'll have to see. This one's going to be tricky. I don't know if I'm going to have to wet sand it, or, you know, I might not be able to get it out, but we'll see what happens. Let's first start with the windscreen and start to see if we can get rid of some of these. If that works, then we'll end up doing the whole thing. All right, so I would say that there is a bit of improvement in there for sure. The windscreen is definitely silky smooth now, that's for damn sure. So I'm actually gonna do the rest of it and try to get this crap out. Like I said, it might not be perfect, but from here, you can tell that it's definitely better than what it was. So maybe if I do it a couple more times, and I'm just using a McGuire's compound, nothing crazy that has a crazy amount of cutting edge to it. So I think this will work out pretty good. Let's do the rest of the windscreen. So we finished polishing up the windscreen. I would say it's definitely a lot better. Like I said, silky smooth to the touch. So that's at least a lot better now. You can see through it pretty clearly. The reflection from the light isn't helping, but anyway, it's looking pretty good. So we got something in the mail. Let's go over to the bench and check it out. Oh yeah, brand new air filter, new old stock from Yamaha, original packaging and everything. And definitely tell quite the difference between the old one and the new one. So we'll put them side by side. Yeah, I'm glad glad I got a new filter. Pretty filthy now when I'm seeing it next to a brand new one. So pretty sweet that I got this. This should definitely help out for sure. Let's go install this onto the bike. All right, we got our tank back on, brand new air filter in there as you see, and now we have a couple more OEM parts that we're going to put onto the bike. We did get a new O-ring for our oil cap right here, so you can see that it's missing it. That's very important. I almost lost the bike one time because of that. Long story short, I was riding on the highway, I got an eBay oil cap, and I thought that I could have swore that it came with the O-ring, but it didn't, and it was a metal one, and it ended up actually falling off on the highway. And the only way I noticed is because I started to feel something on my leg, and when I was hitting the back brakes, it wasn't doing anything. And then when I came to a stop, I saw that there was literally oil all over the side of the bike and on the tire and on the rear caliper. So pretty crazy. I was pretty lucky, but I'm gonna go throw the O-ring on and then put this back onto here. Oil cap is back on with the O-ring. If you need the part number for it, this is it. It's 93210-27778. So the next thing that we're going to install is we need to get a new bracket for the upper fairing stay. The fairing that goes right over here that covers that. This bracket is obviously broke. As you can see, it is broken off. So we have a replacement for that, and that is right over here. So the part number for this, for the right side, which is the throttle side, it is 5PW2836E-00. And that is very common on bikes that have been down. You'll see that this bracket has been broken. So it's a simple 10 millimeter bolt. Take that out, put it back in. There's also a clip that goes on it. There's the bolt for it. And here is our clip. If you need the clip, this is the part number for that, 5PW2177L-01. So I think that's for actually both sides. It should be the same exact part number. But either way, this is going to go on there. Let's go install it onto the bike. All right, guys, so we have our bracket and we installed the metal clip for the fairings, so that will go right onto the frame right over here. There is a hole and there is a little knob on here, so make sure that you get this into here before you tighten on that bolt, because if not, it's going to end up breaking and then you're going to have to buy a new bracket, and the thing's like 20 bucks. So at least nowadays it is. So I'll go throw this on, simply reuse our bolt. Make sure you don't forget your washer like so. First, I'll guide into the hole, and then I screw in by hand, because obviously you don't want to strip anything. All right, and now we will tighten up our bolt. Okay, cool, that's all set. So the next thing I want to do is I want to try to get this scratch out that you can see right there. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. I kind of put my finger over here. You can see it better. But like I said, you can hear it and I can feel it pretty bad. But I'm going to try the compound. I'm pretty sure this one right here, it's a very slight. There's a little bit of a scratch. We're going to see what the compound can do by itself. First, I'll clean the lens with some all-purpose cleaner, and then I'll try the compound again, just like we did on the windscreen. And as you can see, it looks pretty darn good. So we're going to try this on the headlights. So here is the end result, guys. We are back on the lift, and as you can see, the headlight looks really, really good. It came out so nice. There is still a tiny little scratch right there, but it's compared to what it was, that's like nothing. And honestly, this is probably like a foot away, you can't even see it. So I'm pretty happy with the results and how that came out. I'm sure if I spend a little bit more time on it, I could get that thing completely going, or that might require some sanding. But yeah, like I said, the windscreen came out pretty good and the headlight came out awesome. So super happy about that. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so you can see any videos I end up uploading. I really appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.